Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And today's videos may be a little bit off schedule, and I think I'm only gonna do 2 videos for today as well. But I had to bring you the big news that happened today. Let's start with the chart. We're looking at the one-day chart. XRP is sitting here at $2.23. We are still following Bitcoin. If you look at the one day on Bitcoin, it looks identical to the one day on XRP. And once Bitcoin starts to really break out, it's going to take the rest of the market with it. But people would say, with all this great news, why is the price of XRP not pumping? It's because it's just news right now. But I got to tell you this, XRP holders were right all along. This comes from Brad Garlinghouse. True to our long-standing compliance roots, Ripple is applying for a national bank charter from the OCC. If approved, we would have both state via NYDFS and federal oversight, a new and unique benchmark for trust in the stablecoin market. Earlier in the week, via standard custody, we also applied for a Fed Master account, while Congress is working towards clear rules and regulations, and banks, in a far cry from the years of Operation Choke Point 2.0, are leaning in. This access would allow us to hold RLUSD reserves directly with the Fed and provide an additional layer of security to future-proof trust in RLUSD. Ripple always has and will continue to build trusted, battle-tested, and secure infrastructure. In a $250 billion plus market, RLUSD stands out for putting regulation first, setting the standard that institutions expect. RLUSD is not just going to get the upper hand on Tether, it's also going to get the upper hand on USDC, Circle. But this is what we've been saying this entire time. Ripple is turning into a bank. We are going to be bank branches. We are going to be our own bank. This comes from Vincent Van Code, with Ripple announcing they are seeking a bank charter as well as a Fed Master account. This means they will be the first crypto bank that 1. Holds reserves directly with the Fed, no bank required. 2. Can provide banking services and likely include crypto. 3. Can lend money using your XRP and crypto as collateral, potentially on-chain. 4. Offer core cross-border remittances. 5. And here is the kicker, FDIC insurance on deposits up to $250,000, which might include some cryptocurrencies. Imagine getting FDIC insurance on your XRP. That's going to be nuts, and XRP is flying it all together. 2025 to 2026 will be marked in history as the era which the 100-year banking cartel began to crumble. You know, we seen this coming years ago. A lot of us had that vision to see this eventually happening, and now it's happening in real time. This also pushes RLUSD closer to becoming the US digital dollar as well. I'm telling you, what a great time to be an XRP investor. And people are still worried about the price of XRP today. Today it was just news. Wait until this turns into actual value. This comes from X Finance Bull. Breaking. Ripple is wiring up Europe with OpenPayd, RLUSD mining. EUR and GBP rails, $70 billion plus already flowing. This isn't a test. It's live. It's scaling. Ripple is about to run the global payment highways while everyone's asleep. This is bullish on XRP, and you see it right here. London, UK, July 2nd. OpenPayd, a leading provider of financial infrastructure, has announced a strategic partnership with Ripple, the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, bringing together two infrastructure leaders with deep expertise across blockchain and traditional finance to deliver compliant, efficient, and scalable payment solutions for enterprise clients. It's not just in the United States, it's happening abroad as well. Ripple is putting everything together for the XRP to run on. The XRP train is about to leave the station. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to have a lot of regrets in this space because XRP holders, we've been telling them for years, this is what was coming. And they laughed at us. I don't see anybody laughing anymore. We all knew this would eventually happen. XRP set for double-digit surge. 3 powerful catalysts for Ripple to watch in July. So what catalyst they're citing is this: the XRP Ledger sidechain launch, Ripple's decision to withdraw its appeal in the SEC lawsuit, and the growing number of stablecoins and blockchain integrations are the top 3 catalysts likely to drive a new XRP rally. The one I'm really paying attention to right now is all the projects on the XRP Ledger sidechain. The Ripple versus SEC case is already done. We are just waiting for the announcement to happen from the SEC. Then I think it's going to be go time. But it's going to be institutions announcing that they're working with Ripple. Then you start to look at the stablecoin and blockchain integrations as well. Everything is starting to go mainstream. The timeline is changing once again. Everything seems to be accelerating now. And people still thought that it was going to take years for XRP to reach some high price points. I think by the end of this year, it is going to be exciting to be an XRP holder. Top Analyst predicts minimum XRP price for July, an ultimate target by December 2025 amid breakout. So this is coming from Cassie Trades. She says in July that we could see a price point of possibly $3. Maybe even higher, closer to $15. I don't think it's going to happen that soon. I'm expecting upward movement in July, but I don't think it's going to be that substantial yet. I'm more looking towards August, September for things to really get going. Plus, we're expecting a Fed rate cut at some point as well. That could also get this entire market going. But I do like what she says here, XRP to $20 plus by the end of 2025. Now, if we're following the 2017-2018 run, that would go in line with that. If we hit $20 by December of this year, I'm expecting the real big push up to happen in January 2026. A lot of other people are expecting that as well. Gradual upward movement, a sudden surge in Q4, leading into a blow-off top in January 2026. Now, a lot of people would argue that we're going to have crypto regulations, and a lot of people think that's going to be a black swan in the middle of all of this. But regulations are expected, I think, by August, September. They could possibly happen in August, but I think the deadline is now in September. So if that was to happen and that was looked at as a black swan with meme coins disappearing, things like that, I don't think it's going to be as big of a black swan as people think for XRP, because that liquidity has to go somewhere. If you are a meme coin investor, where are you going to park your money if meme coins are gone? Most likely into something that has real value. What has the best return on investment? And honestly, with all these catalysts that are happening for XRP, it's looking more and more like the best return on investment in all of crypto. Just in, Brad Garlinghouse confirms Ripple has no business ties with Linqto. You know, I remember a couple years ago, and I said, I think this Linqto thing looks like a big scam. But people said, no, man, you're totally wrong about Linqto. Well, it looks like it's falling apart as we speak. So Brad Garlinghouse says, understandably, there have been many questions from those who believe they were buying Ripple shares from Linqto and what happens next. To be clear, on Ripple's end, what we know from our records is Linqto owns 4.7 million shares of Ripple, solely purchased on the secondary market from the other Ripple shareholders, never directly from Ripple. Apart from Linqto being a shareholder, Ripple has never had a business relationship with Linqto, nor have they participated in our financing rounds. We stopped approving more Linqto purchases on secondary markets in late 2024 amid growing skepticism. Then you see Wall Street Journal markets. Investment firm Linqto helped pioneer a private stock trading avenue for the little guy. Now it's facing federal investigations into its practices and a possible bankruptcy filing. I think what was going on here is this. I think Linqto, they had people signing lifetime NDAs, things like that. And I said, there's something very sketchy about this. But a lot of people also thought they were buying XRP when they were buying the Ripple shares. Brad goes on to say this as well. Okay, it seems my post has raised a few more questions. First off, XRP and shares of Ripple are very different things. This post is only about shares in Ripple. Linqto is a very separate company that bought shares in Ripple for some of our existing shareholders. It should be reassuring that we, Ripple, are able to confirm that Linqto owns 4.7 million shares of Ripple. I have no idea how Linqto managed the participants to whom they sold representative units of Ripple shares, and thus I can't provide any reassurance about Linqto's business practices or how they will handle it now. The good news is that the value of Ripple shares has increased significantly over time, and there should be considerable gains on those shares for Linqto unit holders. This has nothing to do with XRP. I even said it in videos in the past. What Linqto was selling was shares of Ripple, like pre-IPO shares. And I want to see where this goes from here. I know a lot of people are citing already that people are going to lose a hell of a lot of money in this. U.S. SEC placed temporary stay on Grayscale's multi-crypto ETF. So now this ETF is on hold. And the reason I wanted to mention this is because I still see a lot of people hyping this up. Right now, this is not live until the SEC makes a formal announcement. Let's see where this goes from here as well. But like I said at the beginning of this video, it is nice to see what's going on with Ripple, because I've been saying it for years. Ripple is going to become a bank. And think about it like this. This is at a time where end the Fed is the narrative. Imagine Ripple emerging to take over the Fed as a central bank. Now, I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen. but I like the direction this is going in already. This was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. And everything that XRP holders have been saying for years, it's all coming true day after day after day. And it's more and more catalysts lining up for XRP. But it is going to be one hell of a ride in 2025. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.